All right, man. It's time for another bag of six. I brought my friend, my oldest friend, Mike Butler, back with me. How was Halloween, dude? I know my kids are still chocolate wasted. You remember that Grown Ups movie when they were like, "I want to get chocolate wasted"? Like,
Yeah, I remember that. They just kept going and it turned into something bad, didn't it?
yeah.
So
Hey, I'm gonna
just
save him for another show, but I still don't understand why people have turned on Sandler. But yeah, man, that line always got me. And my kids are still like got the hangover, man, while running around, wilding out.
my daughter didn't go to sleep till 2 in the morning. Um, and to backtrack, your oldest friend is Shamako Milton. Not me. I am not that old. Just FYI. But yeah, my daughter stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night eating candy. I had to go do a closing inventory at a store today. I came back home. She was sitting down at the kitchen table with three of her friends eating candy. She just left to go to one of her friends' house eating candy. So I'm I'm not looking forward to this week.
Yeah, my son's out there eating nerds right now, man. To be honest, just boxes of them. Just
And then they go, man, and like you're like, what is wrong with you? And they're like, I just had candy, and like they know it is, they know what it is. So it's just blowing my mind, like little crackheads running
yeah,
around, man.
I gotta slowly wean him off. Like I'm like microdosing him just to make sure that he doesn't get the hard crash, man. It's like, all right, man. Let's go from candy bars to nerds, and then we're gonna go down to like a cookie, and then like we're going to sleep later, man. But
I tried to give her some animal crackers, and I don't know if that was getting anywhere, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a long couple of weeks, but me and my wife will help her get rid of that candy.
yeah, no kidding, man. I hit that stash at night, no doubt. All right, so here's the deal, man. What we're doing today, it's going to be a long title, and I'm going to kind of work it out as I go. But we're going with the best technological advances, devices, gadgets, whatever you want to say, something, that since 1990. We're 90s kids, man. We went to high school in the 90s. We lived through it. Hypercolor doesn't count, just for the record. But yes, that's what we're going with. Since 1990, like the top six technological devices. That's what we're going with. But we have the disclaimer in our text messages, no phones, because they kind of cover everything, man. If you say the iPhone, okay, now you got a video player, media player, you got internet, you got all this stuff. So yeah, phones are excluded. So if anybody in the comments section want to be iPhone, yeah, that's the obvious one, man. So we dug deep. We got our top six. So, I know you were king of Best Buy for quite some time. You got a lot of experience in this realm. So I'm
Been on
gonna
my
let you kick
LinkedIn.
it off.
You been on my LinkedIn profile or something? How you know I worked at Best Buy? Nobody remembers that. I was only one of the top salesmen ever.
I remember everything, man. I'm like a vault in here. It's just not important information. Like I'm sorry. I probably I probably should have done something a little bit better than remember movie lines from Breaking Two and where all your jobs were. But here I am. And all right, man. Hit us with number six.
Number six, everybody um, at some point has played some version of this. So you have Microsoft and Sony that come out with the normal ones. And then Nintendo always throws their little wrinkle in that is really awkward, but always outsells the other ones because it's cheaper. So we got video game systems, man. PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. What is it? The one with the two things and everybody was playing it.
Wii.
The Wii, yeah. Everybody's grandmother, I want a Wii so they can do the thing with it. And then next thing you know, it's in a box and it's on sale at a garage sale. But video game systems, that's my number six.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I'm gonna make you choose just one.
Oh man, that's easy for me. So the easiest one for me to use is the Xbox. So the Xbox, it's got the multi-entertainment system in it, so I can add everything that I want. I can have my cable run through it. I can control it with my phone. I can download games when I'm not at home. So you can do that with all of them, but just the joystick, the functionality of it, the least amount of buttons.
Right.
I'll go with the Xbox.
All right. It was on my short list. I was going Wii because I felt like the whole innovation of the movement. Like for a while, people were like, bowling, like adults, like a party, man. Like we're bowling or we're gonna play some tennis. And they even had like a warning at the beginning, like put your strap on or else you're gonna break your damn TV, man, because you've had a couple of
Always.
wines. But yeah, man, definitely. Video game systems hit a peak. And they're still going. I'm just researching a PS5 myself right now for a little happy Christmas to dad. But they keep escalating. And once I first got that first PlayStation was the first one where I was like, okay, we went up a level, man. But yeah, I think everybody kind of has. I think you broke it down to the controller. Like you either a PlayStation controller feel or an Xbox controller feel.
And then Nintendo just whatever they want to do. It's just something completely different.
Right. I
Always.
mean, Mario is the GOAT. I mean, we got to at least acknowledge that. I mean, Mario Kart's one of the most fun games to play with friends. They keep coming out with new ways for them to either fight head to head or they do another adventure game or now there's a Mario Party. Like, as far as characters and a franchise, Mario's the GOAT. So Nintendo's always going to have legs. But once you realize and you get into serious gaming and they started doing the online stuff with the Halo and the Call of Duty and now Fortnite and whatever else is probably cool that I'm not even up on yet. That's when Microsoft and Sony took over. So yeah, I'm with you there, man. Mine isn't as cool as this, but my number 6 is when you were young, you always felt like in the 2000s, I'm gonna have a jetpack, I'm gonna have a hoverboard, I'm gonna have lace shoes that lace themselves because I watched Back to the Future and all that cool stuff. But when the Roomba came out, man, I was like, the future is now, man. I can plug this thing in and I can go to work and I can come back and my floor is vacuumed everywhere, man. Like this thing's moving around. It's just this little disc. It looked kind of futuristic, but I think the Roomba, like as far as innovation and like putting us on that next level, like what we saw in the movies, what I thought the future was like would have been 20 different Roombas that did all kinds of things all over my house. Like if there was a laundry Roomba, let's work on that next. But the Roomba, man. And then Parks and Rec, when they put the music player on the Roomba and made DJ Roomba, or like you see the videos where there's a cat scooting down on the Roomba. Like there's just a lot of play in it, man. And I thought once the Roomba was here, I thought the future was going to accelerate so much more. But they're dope, man, and I dig them. So yeah,
Dude,
Roomba now.
I did not expect you to be this far up on technology. That is exciting. I don't know if you can see what I got in my corner back over here.
Oh, look at you go.
So
We did not find this, mind you.
I'm telling you, man, like I think it's like the best thing ever as well. Like I've got an app on my phone. I can turn the vacuum on and it saves us time. So the only bad thing I will say, we've got 2 floors, right? So this one maps out the bottom floor. If I take it upstairs, it'll get confused.
Yeah.
So that means we have to get another one, and it's a big investment. But I talked my wife into it because she doesn't have to mop or she doesn't have to vacuum downstairs anymore, and it's great. Like we even got the one that mops the floors, so we have one that mops the hardwood floors. I'm with you, Ryan. That was a good one, man. I did not think that was going to be on yours. I had that on mine, and I took it off because I was like, I don't know how far into technology Ryan is, but this one is dope to me, and it's dope to you too. So I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. We don't want to get too smart, man. So yeah, man, buy a second Roomba if you need to. We don't want it to get too smart because then we're in the Terminator Skynet type shit, and they're going to take over all of us. So, man. All right, hit me with number 5.
Oh man. So this one, I mean, it's not a cell phone, but it's used on a cell phone. So Alexander Graham Bell, man, when he came up with the phone, like I thought it was one of the greatest inventions ever. And then I remember what was it? I think it was Martin Lawrence or somebody. It was like, I wish I could talk to somebody who ain't even there. They had to be high off their mind to be coming up with something like that. So when somebody calls me, I want to know who it is. And now when Caller ID came out, Caller ID,
Okay.
I thought that was like one of the greatest things ever. So if we fast forward to when I turned in my pager and I got my first StarTech cell phone, it had caller ID on it. I didn't even know what the hell caller ID was. Somebody would call me and the phone number would pop up on the screen. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. How do they know who's calling me? I didn't know it was caller ID until our telephone services at home for those phones that we used to have at the crib where we would answer would have the caller ID on them. Some of them had programmable caller ID too, so you could change the name of the actual person that was calling in case you didn't want that person to call you. But
I remember that too.
Caller ID, number 5.
I remember there used to be a little white box that you could plug. You could have your phone through the white box into the other thing. It was just a standalone little device, man. And like everybody's number was registered. So, you know, it just came up, man. It's just like, now I'm good.
Yeah, and it had that little red flashing light so you could scroll through it to see who was calling. And your parents had one. It was always it was in our kitchen. I don't know why, but it was in our kitchen. But it had that little box on it that lit up. And then once you scroll through it, if the teacher called you to get you in trouble, you could delete it off of there. And if the teacher told you they were calling the house, you just make sure you had the cordless phone. So then when they called, you clicked it off and cleared the caller ID. So you never got in trouble. Sorry, Mom.
That was early scams, man.
And I'm telling you, I've been doing this forever.
Ooh, okay. All right, I dig it. I love it. And you're sure it was since 1990, I remember. Okay. I got a lot here and I want to. All right, I'm gonna go with, since you went like a function for the phone, before phones really kind of dove into this function, Garmin came out with the GPS. And it was a special thing you put up in your car and you could get unique voices for it. Sometimes celebrity cartoon characters, you could have Yoda talking to you, whatever. But once you had a GPS in your car, you were lit, and you made it. Like it would show you, I'm gonna turn in 2 blocks, and you know, maybe Samuel Jackson told you that or whatever. It was so cool. And then nowadays, you know, your phone, like you just type in an address and Google Maps or whatever will take you there. But you think back to the old days, man, like if I drove to, let's just say, Nebraska and got lost in 1987, I'm boned, man. You got to start pulling over places. You got to ask, like, I mean, come on, you got to either unfold the map. Like we take for granted right now that like at any given moment, you can find out exactly where you are based on a GPS device, man. And when Garmin came out with those mountable things for your car, man, that was like mind blowing. It was like you didn't have to think about anything. You could type it in right when you got in your car, and then it just talked to you, man. Sometimes it interrupt your cut, and like, you know, you couldn't really listen to all your favorite music. You had to turn it down where we can. But I mean, as far as trips, anything, like I'm going to Disney World, you could type in Disney World and I'm leaving here. And now for like the next couple thousand miles, man, someone else is navigating for me, man. I don't have to blame my wife or whoever's riding shotgun. Like, man, why did you tell me to turn left 2 miles ago, man? Nah, GPS.
Look at you. So GPS is my life. I've lived in Indianapolis for 2 years. I don't know my way around. I put GPS on every time I get in the car. I could be going to the gas station that I've been to 1,000 times, and I turn GPS on just in case it wants to have me circumvent traffic. I turn GPS on to go to work. I know where all my locations of work are, but I turn it on all the time. If you ask any of our friends back home, when GPS came out, I was the only one who used it. I didn't even know my way around Champaign after GPS came out. I just forgot it all because I had a GPS. So I'm with you on that 1,000%. GPS and Garmin specifically, because I don't even know the name of the other one. It didn't work as good as Garmin. Garmin had the color screens first, and they just kept getting bigger and bigger. Worked at Best Buy. I had them hardwire one into my car before they were built into your car. So every time I turned it on, my GPS turned on.
Right. Garmin was like the Blu-ray to HD DVD, man. Like Garmin just like, we've got this figured out. You guys can still keep playing, but we're about to take it over, man. So yeah, that's my
with you. Man, that was a good one, man. Like I'm impressed, man. Like I might have to pause this video so like I can come up with a better list because you're just killing it over there.
Nah, man, you got video game systems, man. Like that. That hurt. That hurt me deep, dude.
Man,
I was about to get deep in that.
man, oh man, oh man, you probably had different ones too. All right.
Still got
So
some surprises over here on this list.
you already surprised me, man. Like I'm shocked. I don't even know. Like I gotta come up with some ideas. Hopefully you're long-winded on your next one. All right. So my number four is I moved a lot. So like I've moved around the country like 1,000 times, man. And every time I move, like either we come up with a way to sell all of our stuff or we take it with us. And like I've noticed that we've accumulated a lot of things over the years. But the one thing that I hated moving the most, and I think everybody had some version of it, was the tube television. So like the 250-pound Sonys that I had that were like the top of the line, 32 inches. I swear to God, they weighed 250 pounds and like you couldn't lift them. So when they started coming out with flat screen televisions, and when you say flat screen, I hate it when people say flat screen, but I just said flat screen because I didn't want to name a specific brand. But televisions, LEDs,
Plasma,
specifically,
when it
plasmas.
when the plasma first came out, that was the joint, man. Like,
It was a joint, but I couldn't afford that joint. They were
no,
too
you're
expensive. When the TV started coming down, the LCDs,
you're
then we
right.
got to the LEDs, and now we're at the ELDs and the QLEDs and the 4K. And now we're going into 8K and all that other stuff. I don't care about any of that. Does the picture look good? If the picture looks good, I'm with it. But the flat screen television, when we went from the tube to the flat screen, and the flat screen is standard, picture looks better on it. So if you know people like I have some advanced age family members who still have the tube televisions in their house. And like when I look at it, like my eyes immediately hurt. And like I'm disgusted to have to watch television on one of those. And I'm like, you can buy a flat screen for like $99 or less now. And it can be like twice the size of this one. You don't have to strain your eyes. So flat screens, number four.
Yeah. Did you see the new ones that roll out now?
No.
It's a
No.
it's just like a long box. That's what it looks like. It looks like a long box. And the screen actually rolls and raises up and then rolls down like a shade behind me, man. Like you can pull down, but they said it goes the other way. I mean, they're still like 80 grand or some shit like that. But I mean, it's gonna be bonkers for our kids, man. Like their TVs, they're gonna hold it over their shoulder on their way to like school, man. Like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna pop up my 80 inch real quick and roll it up, man. But yeah, man, I'm kind of pissed at myself for not having that on my list, man. For real.
You're
Because yeah,
doing great on yours, man. Like now get long-winded on this one.
all right, all right. So yeah, all right. I'll pick one that I can go and go on then.
I'm just
All
messing
right.
with you.
So I'm gonna go for my number four. I'm gonna go with Sonos. I'm gonna go with Bluetooth and wireless speakers because back in the day, if you wanted to have an outdoor party, you had to take your component stereo, pick it up. I mean, and we're not talking about the player, mind you. Yeah, you can play it on the phone, but even if I wanted to play my phone on wired speakers, I'd have to figure out a way to put that all together, either get some computer speakers or all connected by and carry them all out and get a couple of extra power strips, load everything out there, whatever. Now they got literally battery powered, wireless, Bluetooth speakers. If you want to do your own, you used to have to hire people to come out and put your sound system in if you wanted surround sound when you want to watch a movie. And now they literally break it down by numbers. Like, do you want a one, two, three, four, or five? You know, you want a subwoofer? Do you want some this, that? They all talk to each other. They make it pretty much idiot proof. Like you plug them in, they're all like, "We're ready. You ready to watch Fast and the Furious? Man, we got you, dude. Just plug us all in. Let us talk to each other." And that's my jam, man. And they're even, Alexa is technically not like a device, so I wouldn't include it on this list, but that comes in there too. She may be listening. I do like to unplug them all the time, just as I don't want, man, we're trying to talk about personal shit here. I don't need her listening to it, telling the FBI and all that kind of stuff. But all that stuff together, man, it's just been a godsend for anybody that just wants. And they may not always be on the cheapest end. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Sonos kind of go up a level, but there are different. If you want to get a Beats pillow or whatever like that, I'm not just saying wireless altogether. I'm saying Sonos, man. Go Sonos. Bluetooth, wireless. You don't have to get the red cable and the black cable to connect to the back of your speaker, and then make sure you didn't cross those up before you get them in your receiver,
That's
and
it.
then make sure that you get the yellow and the red from your receiver to your television to I want to enjoy my shows, man. I went that far that I bought a projector for our back yard while it's warm out, 'cause, we're all at home and stuff. We're trying to, all that works too, man. Like it just all works. And I love that. I love the simplicity of it. And I love music and I love movies. And this makes it the best to consume all worlds. So yeah, I'm going Sonos Bluetooth wireless speakers.
So man, like I'm really proud of you, man. Like you are really like we got to talk about like technology more often. Like your
Right.
list is on point, man. Like I'm just looking at mine and then like my number three isn't anything exciting like that, man. Like I go in the kitchen, right? And it's early in the morning.
Ah,
I want something warm to drink. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, but I know people that are. So I got coffee for them. I got hot chocolate for them. And I just take this little pod and I stick it in this Keurig machine and I hit the button. I could be a big cup, little cup, small cup, medium cup. I could hit that button for that. And it makes that cup of Joe in like less than a minute, less than 30 seconds. And the water's hot. Oh man. Tell me that's not a technological advancement. Keurig. I don't even know if there's other companies. And I know mine's old and it works. They're digital ones now. I don't have any of the fancy ones.
nah, dude, you nailed that one, man. I was saving that. I was saving that one, but yeah.
Oh man.
No, 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 no. I'm glad you took it. I got backups, man. But yeah, man, I'm not a coffee person. But sometimes my wife will buy one that's like caramel butternut cake, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I'll just try one cup." You because I know that the fact that it's disposable, it's quick, it's fast. Like I'm not putting anybody out, man. You always get if your parents come by or whatever, and do you want some coffee? Ah, no, don't go bothering making a full pot just for me.
Yeah.
Polite and in your old school ways. It's like, man, I'm just gonna do this. Pop, pop. That's it. That's all I'm putting forth here. I was just, trying to give you a cup of coffee. But yeah, man, that thing's a jam, dude. Even when I go to meetings, or when I did go to meetings 6 months ago, uh they like customize people's orders. It was like you were being and it's like, oh man, you guys got a coffee shop in the lobby here? And it's like, nah, man, we just got this spindle and it's like full of pods.
That's it right there.
You want mocha, or you want cinnamon dolce, or what? Man, is and you're right. Hot chocolate, we do that for the kids too, man. Like that thing's great, dude. I can't hate on it. Even though I don't drink coffee, I was like resistant to it. But we got one, and my wife uses it a lot. But I mean, man, it's just the innovation of it all is still just dumbfounding to me, man. Like, how did this not happen sooner? It even has a button on top that says strong. Like, if you want to
Man,
make your coffee stronger,
make it
I don't even know what
stronger.
that means. Like, is there less water in it? Like, what are you doing, man? What are you
I don't understand the concept anyway. Like it punches a hole in it and the water goes through it and it can make a full cup of whatever I want. And it can determine what size cup I want and the taste is still the same. I don't get it, man. Like I'm dumbfounded by it.
this?
I wanted to open a Keurig coffee shop and I thought it would be great, but I wouldn't tell them I was using a Keurig machine. And then it would just be where they drive up and I'm just popping tabs in and passing them out to the people when they leave. But I thought there would be some copyright infringements. Somebody from Keurig would come through my drive-through line and know that that was their flavor. But that was my business model. And like I was trying to work it out. I never succeeded with it.
Just make that sound effect in the back of like the, you know, they believe it. Like, oh, okay, he's got that real foam going. Yep, he does. He does. Man, That was a great one, dude. I was really hoping to snag that. All right. Well, and we're about to get Zoom bombed. Watch out. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Oh, hopped up on nerds. How you doing,
That's
buddy?
that candy strength right there. How'd you do?
Great.
Did you get a lot of candy?
On Halloween?
Yeah.
On Halloween, not much.
I
My
saw that.
parents banned me from candy after I accidentally knocked my brand new 2-day-old cup downstairs.
Sorry, man. You went hard real fast, man. We just were pacing you out, dude. You know, but you ended up getting it.
I saw you on Facebook throwing candy down a chute.
Yeah, you did. That's it, man. Fast and Furious, dude. All right.
That would have been on my bad movies, but good.
Man, I can do a ranking. Do you want to just break down? Because I'm a fan, dude. They are bad movies that are good, but some of them are better than others. Because like
Tokyo Drift was the worst. Do we agree on that?
What?
Tokyo Drift, was that the worst? Do we agree on that?
Yeah, that one is the worst, man.
Okay. Then we're good, man. Like
number four is next after that. That one kind of didn't fit in. But the one that gets hate on the most is the Too Fast, Too Furious, the sequel, when they brought Tyrese in and they're in Miami and all that. That movie's good, man. Like I enjoyed that one a lot. It definitely wasn't on the same pace. It went a little bit more Miami Vice detective, but all right, I can go on forever, man. I won't.
I can dig it.
All right, man. You got my Keurig. All right. So what I'm gonna go with is where we at? 3. I'm on my 3.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go practical.
Practical.
Even though this is a political-free, COVID-free zone, I will say that people breathe a little bit easier when they get a little wireless device they put outside their home, and it's called a Ring doorbell.
Ugh.
You put that up,
dude, man,
and it just scans the area. You can review the footage. If your Amazon guy comes up and just is acting a fool, it's all there, man. But it's so simple, man. I'm not an electrician. People like, I remember back in the day, people would have their own doorbells with unique sounds and stuff, or like, all that stuff, man. This, again, it's kind of cheating because it kind of goes with Sonos, man, like the whole wireless thing about it. But the Ring doorbell, man, it gives you just a little bit of sense of security, and folks are a little bit hesitant of it. But I mean, it's amazing, man. It's so easy and affordable, man, and it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's dope. Like all the stuff that's been caught on video from it, just good and bad from it. I think they're awesome. Like,
exactly. There might be footage of me out there that, forgot my key at home, and I might have got home from the bars at 3 a.m. They, it's been lost. That footage has been lost, but it was there.
Did you see the wrinkle they threw into it from the autonomous? So in your house, if somebody were to come into your house, they added a little hovercraft thing that lifts up. So like when your motion detector goes off inside your house, this hover thing takes off and heads towards the door.
I just saw that the other day, man. I haven't fully absorbed it yet. Like I just saw the video and I'm like, oh, damn.
Just think about it though. Yeah, like you break into somebody's house, not you specifically. Somebody breaks into your house and there's a drone flying towards you, and like you might have something in your hand and throw at it and might knock it down, but it's already got you on video. There's nothing you can do about it except run. Like you don't want to stay anymore. Like it's great.
You were just breaking and entering. Now we got you for destruction of private property.
There you go. And we'll stay out of the politics because we don't want to talk about that. But
yeah.
Destruction of property. Here we go. So my number 2 is cheating, according to you. But I personally think technology-wise, you cannot live without these things. So these things you use, I know I use in every single solitary thing I do almost in my life. I pick up my cell phone and I go into my apps. And when I go into my apps, I mean, like, I don't even know what apps I have on there. I got fantasy football on here. I got my Sonos app on here. I got my Spotify app on here. I got Maps app on here, so the GPS. Then my daughter's got like 1,000,000 games on here. My work is through an app. Like my job makes me do things through an app that I have to turn in to them. My vacuum cleaner, I turn it on through an app if I want to. My television, I turn it on through an app if I want to. Like apps just dominate the world. Spotify, your streaming services are on there too. So I know you're a big movie guy. They're an app. I mean, it's an app. It's an app on your TV. It's an app on your phone. Apps is got to be like number 2 on my list. It's not number 1, but it does control my life. Number 1 controls my life.
All right. Hesitant here.
I know.
It's not an actual device or anything of that. It's basically your phone without saying it's your phone, because everything on your phone is an app, man. Hold on.
But your television, it's on your television as well.
Hey, you could have said smart TV.
Yeah, I could have, but I already used flat screen. How many TVs can I name on here?
My oven's on an app even now, man. That's how far it's gotten. It's nuts. I was upstairs taking a shit earlier.
Okay.
I got a pop-up. They said the oven is preheated because my wife was making cookies with the kids, man. Like everything is on an app.
My washer and dryer is on an app. So when it's time to switch from the other, they talk to each other and tell the other one how much it's set, but they alert me to switch so that I can put them in there.
All right. I am going to allow it hesitantly because it's not an actual device, with the caveat that we do top 6 apps coming up in a future episode. Deal?
Done.
All right.
And our apps will not overlap, I don't think, Ben.
No.
But I am thoroughly impressed by your technology savviness. You are a bad dude.
There's a bazillion apps, dude. I got apps that don't even make any damn sense, but I just need to take them for a spin, dude. Like I'm already looking through there now. Man, I just got like my grocery store tell me rewards points, and everything's apps, dude. You're right, man. It's crazy.
There's nothing that I
just
do in my life that doesn't involve an app besides the good stuff.
My baking, man. I just deposited checks by taking pictures of them on my app, man. It's great.
People send money through apps right now.
Right. I got some tough ones, man. I got some tough cuts here. So I got 2 left, and I got 3 that I really, actually 4 that I really like, and 1 honorable mention. All right. This one, I won't say that I use. I don't even use it. I've used it before. I've seen it in process. It is literally the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And what it does and what it will continue to do will change all of humanity. But I don't own one. It's a 3D printer, man. Have you seen those things? Like these things, you can print dice. Like you can print dice. Just the fact that I just said that, let that sink in. Oh shit, Monopoly, man. You guys lost the dice. Hold on real quick. Let me just print you up a pair. You can make a guitar. I've seen combination locks. I've seen people make tools. I've seen people make all kinds of things. They're printing them. They're creating them out of air in a box, dude. I worked for Horizon Hobby for a minute, and like the controllers to control like $1,000 drones and all the things you were talking about. They make the test models, they 3D print them, man. Like this thing is gonna, once they fully cultivate it, it will change the world, man. So it's just amazing to me that you can mess around with something as simple as a toy to something that can literally complete whatever your task is, and you can type it up and just print it out while you're watching, Fast and the Furious.
Hopefully number 1.
That was your number 1?
No. I can't even touch that because I can't fathom how it works. Like when it first came out and like people were talking about them, you got a 3D printer. I can do this, I can do that with a 3D printer. And I'm just thinking like, how does that even work? And then the concept behind it. Then I saw them work and then I'm just like, I still can't wrap my head around it. It's like some Willy Wonka stuff. Like I really don't know, man.
Exactly, man. That's why it's like,
I still don't get it.
I don't have one, man. I've just seen them. I've seen people use them, and I've like, can you make me like a frog or something? Like I didn't even know what to say when they're like, "Do you want something?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, a bear." Like I don't. What's it? But then the more I see them in action and like, being at the university and all this, they're like printing out, a device that could save your life, man. Like just let me just cook that up for you real quick. Give us the night. We're going to go sleep. When we wake up, we're going to have a dialysis machine ready for you. Like what?
Yeah. Like I didn't, that's the thing. Like, I mean, are they functional when they come out? Like, do they have to add parts to it? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I know it's not like, oh man, we just put together an iMac for you.
Right.
But like, I don't get it. And like, I don't understand it, but I've seen it and I'm just amazed by it. And if I got a hold of one of those, I could rule the world.
Some of the things, yeah, you have to print out in parts and assemble it and stuff. But like I said, man, like just back to the original thing, just even dice, man. Like I'm just going to print you a pair of dice, dude. Because, it's going to be lunch hour in 3 hours and I'm going to take that $20 off you. So I'm going to print some dice so we can roll in the bathroom. Like I could have put that in on first period and then we're done. We're ready to go, man. And I customized them. They have my initials in them. So when I hit a 7, it says RL.
Make sure you got them weighted, man, and you don't use the same dice over and over again. Like you hit that 7 or 11 a couple of times and you got to switch the dice out with a sleight of hand or they'll catch on to you and you'll lose. And it might be a fight. I mean, I don't know how many times I've done that.
Right.
Yeah, you can have a cookie. Get 2 cookies.
You hear that?
Look at these ears, man. I told you Dumbo was one of my favorite movies.
You got dad ears, man. He knows. All right, man.
All right. So I don't know if we got the same number one. We have to have the same number one, right? Like it started like making a noise, like
I got 2 or 3, so actually I can swerve, man. So
I mean, it started like, I mean, when we got the disc, we took the disc home and then we put it in our computer and then it did the little thing where once we hooked the phone line in and it was like and then it would connect.
Don't pick up the phone.
Oh, yeah. And then you got the little dude that runs across and connects. And then like, if we had stock in that, like we'd be millionaires right now from AOL.
Right.
And then to where it is today, the internet. So the technology from the internet went from dial-up to cable to where we are now. I don't know where you guys are, but we got fiber optics here in Indiana. And the fiber optics has changed my life. So my wife doesn't approve of this, but we have a TV in like almost every single room of our house and it's a smart television. We have 0 cable, so we run everything off the internet. We have all kinds of devices that we run off of it. The tablet was one of my top 5, but I didn't use it. But the internet, I think, is my number one. It's my pinnacle. I don't see you getting excited about this, so here comes the challenge.
Technically, it was invented before 1990.
When did the internet come out, man? When did AOL come out? 1990, right?
Well, AOL, if you want to take AOL, man, but yeah.
But then we went from 1990 to now. So you gave me too big of a window. So we could go backwards if you'd like. And I could say AOL was the groundbreaker of everything. Her and AOL and who was the vice president that invented the internet?
I'm going to let it go because I'm here in Champaign, Illinois. And we did invent the internet. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but the Mosaic Browser, NSCA Mosaic 1.0, the first web browser to achieve popularity in the general public, was invented in 1993 here at the University of Illinois. So I'm going to allow it.
Oh, Man, I had to fight for my number one. That's tough right
Yeah,
there.
The internet's been around a lot longer. Because it was like if you were gonna say like a laptop or something, like yeah, MacBook, versus the first. I'm allowed. It's champagne.
They couldn't do nothing
I
until you
just want
hooked
to
the
put
internet.
that. I just wanted to put us on the map. Mosaic, man. That's us, dude.
But who was the vice president? Who was the vice president that
Al
said
Gore. Al Gore
Al
claimed,
Gore.
he invented the internet.
Al Gore made the internet, I thought.
I think
So
Shamako Milton invented the internet in 1943.
no, Shimako was one of the co-writers of the Bible. Him and Moses were homies. That's how old Shimako Milton is.
Man, why are you dragging me into this? This is your bit, dude. I don't know why I did that, man. I'm sorry, Shamako. All right. He was around for the last pandemic when the Spanish flu came around. Man. Oh, all right, I'm done.
He's around for the original pandemic when they had to make Noah's Ark. All right. My bag, Mako. Chief. Love you.
Dude, hey, remember former guest, man. Him and Marissa came on. We talked movies. All right, so I got two. Man, this is tough. I think you stepped up your game with the internet pick and the apps pick. One of mine's a little bit more niche. Like it only applies to a certain amount of people, but it's really dope. The other one, all right, I'm gonna go with the other one. And I'm gonna pick my favorite one, but because there's a lot of different versions of them. But you talk about your flat screens and all that stuff, but that's just a box with a bouncing square in it, unless you plug in a Fire Stick.
Oh,
So
man.
my pick, as opposed to Apple TV or Chrome Stick, all those other things, my favorite one, I have to admit, I like the Fire, man. I got a bunch of them. They're affordable. They got all the different ones I want to go, but we're stuck at home a lot, so I got my Disney Plus. Actually, I don't know if the Disney Plus goes on that one, so maybe I should change my shit up to Apple TV. All right, Apple TV, because I got my Disney Plus, my Hulu, my Apple streaming, everything in there, my Boomerang. I can watch Looney Tunes. I can watch movies. I can stream everything. All my entertainment is in this little box that I can either, again, I mentioned the projector. I can just get my little USB port or my, plug it in anything. I can take it from TV to TV. If we wanted to go rent an Airbnb to like hang out for a weekend, get our distance vacation on, all my shit's coming with me. I don't have to bring folders of DVDs. I don't have to bring my own anything. I got a little box that I can put in there, take it along, all my entertainment packed in there. I can move it around. Even my 7-year-old that was in here, man, he's whipping through that thing, finding recommendations and this and that. I'm like, what are you watching? Santiago of the Seas. Where'd you even hear about it? Oh, Dad, it's just on, Yeah. So I'm going with the Apple TV / Fire Stick / whatever, but let's go with Apple TV because I forget which one does what anymore. Because some of them have rights, like HBO Max is only on here and this and that, but yeah.
You sound like a legit person. So my Fire Stick, I don't know what you do with yours, but my Fire Stick, I can do whatever I want with my Fire Stick. So I like your integrity, but my Fire Stick is unlocked. I have every single app, every single movie, every single live station, and it can make one of my non-smart TVs a smart TV by plugging it in. The main ingredient that we need though is the internet. So we have to have the internet, because that's why it's number one, But that Fire Stick is dope. And it was on my list as number 2. And I called an audible and went to my apps. So I'm with you on that 1000%. You are a bad dude, man.
Right.
Let me hear this niche thing. Let me hear this white people thing.
What?
Let me hear this niche. What's your niche? I wanted to hear your niche one.
I was going to go with the Tesla Roadster, man.
See, there's your white people niche right there. Nobody has a Tesla except your people, man. But keep going. Tell me about it.
Man, it's beautiful, dude. I mean, it's changing the world. You know, in California, they're talking, I forget what it is, 2035, they're not going to sell any more gas producing vehicles.
Okay.
I mean, this thing it can go from 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. It's burning up the road. They got all kinds of like Easter eggs in it. Like you can do Santa mode. You can do, you know, never mind. All right. They got glass.
I'm with you, dude.
Like,
The Hummer just came out.
It's the future of cars.
The Hummer just came out. I'm with you, man. The Hummer just came out with the auto drive features and all that too for $112,000.
They launched one into space, man. Like, you know, Elon Musk is just a bonkers man, but he makes a fun ride, dude, and it looks cool. Like, I'm with it.
Tesla is definitely changing the world. Like, there's money in that, money to invest in that. Like the technology, Walmart bought, I think, like 200 of their semis for their fleet. So they're Walmart. If Walmart invests that much into somebody, they know what's up.
Right.
Amazon's also invested in Tesla, which is crazy to me because Amazon could just invest in themselves and knock off Tesla. But I'm with you. I'm with you, man. Tesla is a bad company.
Yeah.
Almost up there with the Apples.
Almost. My one I wanted to give a shout out to, even though it couldn't make my list, but as a parent, there were two things that got me through the first few years of my kids. One was the video baby monitor, which came out over the 90s, and it had a pressure plate. Because what I used to do was walk in there and be like, okay, still breathing. All right. And if they weren't breathing, like it would start vibrating and freak out. You know, it only happened once when he rolled off of it, and it was the scariest moment of my life. But it was a peace of mind at these things. So yeah, the video monitor with the pressure plate, and we had something called a Mamaroo.
Oh, we got it too.
Basically like a big sled, and it had different speeds and ways to go. It looked like a hammock, and it had like a little thing that hung down with balls on it.
Yeah.
You could plug a MP3 player into it and play music. You could do all kinds of things. But the Mamaroo and the video monitor, man, like probably took years off my life, dude. So
yeah, I had my daughter had the Mamaroo, and like I'd put her in the thing. So I don't know if our Mamaroos are the same. You could plug yours into the wall. And it had the different motions and everything. My wife hated it when I put my daughter in it, but my daughter would just sink and fall asleep in it. She loved it so much. And my wife's like, why? That's so mean. Don't put her in that thing. Like, hold her. And I was like, man, she loves it in there. So, and then the pressure plate, I didn't know about that, man. Like, we still have the monitoring system, but we would go in there and look at her like every 15 minutes to make sure she was breathing.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We took turns, man. It was like, all right, I got the next 4 hours. I'll just be sitting outside that crib.
Yeah, might as well just sleep in there, you know?
What should have been?
That was awesome, man.
I was staring at my iPad with one earbud in, listening and watching and listening and watching. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's on there, man. All right, man. I think I got on my list. Do you have any other ones you didn't get to fit in that you want to shout?
So we did power goes through everything. So I think like the only one that I didn't use on mine was the tablet. So the tablet, I mean, the same thing as the phone. It takes so that was the only one that I didn't use, the tablet, and it's the same as the phone. Like tablets are phones now.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of in the same genre. And you hit like flat screen TV, like if given the choice between the two, taking the flat screen TV.
Every time.
If you take the tablet on the road, you need an internet connection or you got to download everything ahead of time. So I'd rather just no. So, I mean, it's cool. It's better than an iPod or anything like that we didn't choose. But, you know, yeah, tablet, it is what it is, man.
And then you just last one and then we can get off of here, I think. But my truck has internet built into it. So, you know, now it's an entertainment system as well. Internet, though. Internet's the key to all of this.
To all my friends in the radio industry that join me on this show, now that we have internet and vehicles, things are going to get a lot more difficult. I'm sorry.
Tell them to hit me up to listen to this voice. Couldn't you hear me on the radio? Come on. Yeah. I need a job. Come on, radio people.
What do you want to do? You want to pull a weekend shift, morning
Oh
shift?
man, I just want to be on one morning, once a week, come in and talk to people, talk smack, and then go to work at my other job. That's what I want to do. WLRW, that's my station. Wixie, hit me up. I need a job.
Are you gonna have a radio name, or are you just gonna go
Yeah.
with your real name?
I think I'm just gonna go with the golden voice. I don't know. You got a radio name for me?
No,
Don't even want to touch it, huh?
no, I do not. All right, man. I'm gonna stop recording now.
All right.
Love you, man.